Archangel Michael says that unexpected bill wasn't random. Someone spiritually blocked your finances last week. Open now or money will keep slipping away. That bill, the one you weren't expecting, the one that hit your account like a divine jolt, was not a coincidence. Archangel Michael says it was never about the amount or the service. It was a sign, a coded message from the spirit realm. Something unseen was triggered in your life last week. Something dark. Something designed to drain you, distract you, and block what was about to become your season of overflow. That bill was not just a transaction. It was the activation of a spiritual interference planted by someone who envied your light. You may have tried to rationalize it, even brushing it off. But in the spiritual realm, nothing is random. Everything is coded with divine intention or dark manipulation. That sudden withdrawal from your account was the proof that a curse of scarcity was loosed over your finances. It was not from heaven. It was not from your destiny. It was a sabotage, launched by someone connected to your past. Someone who doesn't speak your name but whispers it in bitterness. Archangel Michael is saying now, do not ignore what your soul has already sensed. Money slipping through your hands. Bank accounts feeling hollow. Opportunities escaping. Delays piling up. This is spiritual warfare wrapped in earthly disguise. This is how the enemy blinds the chosen, by making them believe that brokenness is normal. But you are not meant to be broken. You are not meant to live under lack. You were chosen to walk in divine provision. That bill was not the beginning, it was the revelation. It exposed what has been draining you in silence. Type I am rising to get the blessing 4896. The angels have been trying to reach you. Archangel Michael has sent signs, but this one couldn't be ignored. The payment that unsettled you was crafted by forces that operate in shadows, and the energy of financial disruption has been swirling around your home, your wallet, your future. But now, the divine is calling you to open your eyes, your heart, and this message. There is a spiritual strategy to reclaim what has been blocked. You are not alone in this war. This script is not a story. It is a blueprint. Every part that follows has been divinely aligned to break the seal of lack and restore your financial protection. You must move swiftly. You must take this seriously. Because if you delay, if you dismiss this as emotional talk, you risk letting the same energy continue controlling your destiny. Archangel Michael has drawn his sword. Heaven is ready. But you must respond. You must rise. Let this moment mark the shift. Let this message be your opening. Because the angels have declared, your restoration begins now. That strange moment last week, the delay, the glitch, the sudden notification, was more than a mistake. It was a spiritual echo, a reverberation of energy sent from someone who wanted to see your abundance reversed. Archangel Michael is revealing now that what appeared as a common financial hiccup was actually the surface crack of a deeper spiritual sabotage. This was not just energy, it was intention. Directed. Focused. Wrapped in jealousy and released like a curse. Someone saw your light rising, and they feared it. In the realm of spirit, curses don't always sound like spells. They come in the form of blocked opportunities, canceled meetings, forgotten transfers, surprise expenses, and digital interruptions. The person responsible for this financial detour is someone who once smiled in your face but didn't celebrate your progress. Bespoke your name with poison, whether through words or thoughts. And because your spiritual defenses had weakened, their energy penetrated. A sudden loss was the evidence. But the root was spiritual. Archangel Michael wants you to understand. This is not your fault. But it is your fight. You were not negligent. You were targeted. You were moving into alignment with your divine prosperity, and that movement activated enemies in the invisible. You didn't see them, but they felt you. And they responded. The spirit realm is always listening. And the words spoken about you, even in secret, carry weight. But what they didn't expect is that heaven would intervene by giving you this revelation. Blessing 9999. The angels watched the moment it was spoken. A family member, a former friend, a jealous coworker. The exact identity may not be clear to you yet, but the effects of their intention are showing. Bills rising with no explanation. Money that should have lasted, disappearing. Emotional fatigue surrounding anything financial. That's not normal. That's spiritual warfare on your bank account. And the longer it stays hidden, the stronger it becomes. That's why Archangel Michael is sending this urgent message, because now is the window to reverse it. There are divine protocols to restoring spiritual wealth. And the first is awareness. What you're reading now is breaking the silence. The second is response. You must shift your spiritual posture from victim to warrior. You are not weak. You are not cursed. But you have been under siege. And just as heaven has given this message, heaven has already prepared your weapon. The words that will be spoken in the parts ahead are not just instructions. They are spiritual keys to unlock what's been bound. You must be mindful now of your energy, of your thoughts, of what you say when you see another expense come in. Words carry vibration. And when you declare, "I'm always broke," you unknowingly reinforce what the enemy wants. But when you say, "I'm divinely provided for," you align with heaven's current. Archangel Michael is whispering this. Your mouth is a gate. Guard it. Bless your wallet. Bless your bills. Even if they look intimidating, declare, "This will be paid with ease." That is how you reclaim control. Type "I'm aligned" to get the blessing 6711. Do not ignore how you've been feeling. That pressure on your chest. A sense of helplessness. It's not just financial. It's spiritual weight. The curse that was sent came with emotion, despair, anxiety, confusion. And when it attached to your finances, it created a cycle of fear. That fear feeds the blockage. But here's the divine revelation. When you face the fear, it loses its grip. What the enemy never counted on was that you would receive a message this detailed, this direct, and this divine. Archangel Michael is standing before you now in spirit. Sword of light. Wings ablaze. He has seen what was spoken over you. He has heard what was prayed in envy. And now, he is asking you to open yourself to spiritual strategy. The money is not gone. It is being held. And what is held can be released. But it starts by you declaring, no more silent attacks. No more spiritual sabotage. I claim my wealth. I reclaim my name. You must understand the war is not against money, it's against your destiny. Because your wealth was never just about comfort. It was about your purpose. You were meant to fund movements, to support others. You lived abundantly, and that made you a target. But heaven will not allow that targeting to stand unchallenged. This message is your shield. These next parts are your sword. Prepare yourself, because the next revelation will expose exactly how the blockage entered and what must be done to remove it. Type "I am rising above" to get the blessing 7202. Archangel Michael's voice grows louder now, more commanding, more urgent. The spiritual blockage around your finances is not something that will just go away with time. In fact, the longer you remain unaware and passive, the deeper it will root into your destiny. You are reading this now because heaven has authorized a divine intervention, but interventions must be accepted. You must respond. You must act. Because what was done against you was done intentionally, and what heaven is offering now must be claimed just as intentionally. This is not about fear. This is about clarity. You are not being threatened. You are being awakened. The divine does not come to scare. It comes to expose and empower. But to ignore a revelation this loud is to choose delay, struggle, and spiritual dryness. Archangel Michael says plainly, what was sent against your money was not passive. It was a curse planted through jealousy, empowered by silence, and nurtured by your lack of awareness. But now, heaven is making you aware. What will you do with this awareness? There are blessings with your name already released in the spirit realm, but they are circling, waiting, hovering, because they cannot land on a heart that refuses to receive. Archangel Michael says, you were chosen for wealth, but chosen does not mean guaranteed. It means invited. And this message is that invitation. If you respond today, if you walk through the next stages of this prophetic script and follow what is being revealed, you will step into a clearing, a lifting of blockages. But delay means staying in the loop of financial warfare. Type I am claiming it to get the blessing 5,840. Somewhere last week someone mentioned your name, not with praise but with bitterness. They knew something was shifting for you. Maybe they saw your progress. Maybe they felt your peace. What it agitated though, and their energy was laced with resentment. They didn't need to say a full incantation. Their words carried enough spiritual power to disrupt your field. Words are portals, and their words opened a dark one. But now your words must open a divine one. Your decree will either unlock what's owed to you or leave it floating above you. That is why this message was not meant for a crowd. This is a targeted message from heaven to you. Yes, you. Not your sibling. Not your neighbor. You. Because only you can realign your spiritual atmosphere. You've been praying for confirmation. This is it. You've been begging God to show you what's wrong. This is that showing. You've asked the universe for a break, a shift, a sign. This is the sign. It is no longer time to question. It is time to act, to take hold of your authority. Archangel Michael is standing in front of you now, spiritually, with scrolls in hand. These scrolls contain the blueprint to reverse this attack. He's not just a warrior. He's a messenger. And his message is this: if you keep living like this, money will keep slipping away. But if you open your spirit now, your next 30 days can look nothing like your last 30. There is an anointing over the words in this script, a specific energy designed to clear your channels. But it only works if you open your soul. Type I am ready to shift to get blessing 9111. You are not weak for being affected. You are not stupid for missing the signs earlier. You are human. But now that you've been given this level of truth, you must rise into your divine self. You must stop agreeing with scarcity. Every time you say, I don't have enough, you give power to the curse. Start saying, I am aligned with overflow. My angels are clearing the way. Say it even when your bank is low. Say it especially when fear knocks at your door. That is how you begin to override the spiritual code of lack. You are being called into a divine partnership now, not just with Archangel Michael, but with the spirit of abundance itself. That spirit cannot dwell in doubt. It cannot manifest in houses of fear. You must become a safe space for wealth to flow. That means healing your view of money, releasing past shame, and realizing that divine prosperity is your birthright. But none of that happens unless you decide right now that you are worthy of it, that you will not let another week pass living in silence about what is spiritually happening to your money. The portal is open. The blessing is waiting. The steps ahead will lead you into greater awareness and deeper activation. But the pitch is this: don't just read, engage. Don't just scan. Respond. This is not just a warning. It is a divine call. If you skip this message, the struggle may deepen. But if you respond now, the angels will begin to restore everything the enemy tried to steal from your account, your peace, and your purpose. Archangel Michael says, "The one who cursed your finances does not expect you to awaken. But if you rise now, they will lose access forever." If this word has spoken to your heart and sparked a new boldness within you, we invite you to sow a super thanks of $20. Your support helps us continue to share prophetic wisdom, encouragement, and strength with those walking the road from pain to promise. You can also stand with us by donating through PayPal. Just click the Support Here link in the video description. Every gift, big or small, makes a real difference and helps us reach more people with messages of hope and direction. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of divine encouragement, spirit-led insight, and timely truth crafted to move you forward in your journey. Type "I am awakened" to get the blessing 7557. There is a dark spirit that has been silently circling your finances, blending into your habits, your thoughts, your emotions. Archangel Michael calls it the spirit of lack, and its power lies not in what it steals, but in what it convinces you to stop expecting. It doesn't just take your money, it rewires your beliefs. Slowly, without you even realizing, it teaches you to settle. It teaches you that survival is good enough. And worst of all, it teaches you that your dreams were too big to begin with. This spirit doesn't storm in. It slips in quietly, through unspoken fears, subtle anxieties, or inherited family beliefs. It hides behind statements like "money always runs out," or "I'm just not good with finances." It echoes in your mind when you say, "I guess I'll just have to deal with this debt forever." These are not just words. These are contracts, spiritual agreements. Every time you repeat them, you tighten the rope the spirit of lack uses to hold you down. That is how it attaches. Through your agreement. Through your time. Archangel Michael reveals this. The spirit of lack rarely comes alone. It travels in a cluster. It brings confusion, depression, financial sabotage, and procrastination. And most dangerously, it brings familiarity. You start believing that this is just how life is, and that is when it wins. Because once you normalize lack, you stop resisting it. Once you stop resisting it, you stop seeking divine solutions. And once you stop seeking divine solutions, you stay stuck. But you are not meant to stay stuck. Type "I am free from lack" to get the blessing 6042. You may be experiencing symptoms of this attachment already. Do you often feel anxious when checking your bank account? Do you delay opening bills because you're afraid of what's inside? Do you secretly believe that money is hard to keep, no matter how much you earn? These are not normal emotional patterns. They are red flags. Red flags that a spiritual energy has taken up space in your financial atmosphere, and that energy must now be evicted. This spirit may have entered your life through generational patterns. Maybe your parents struggled financially, or your childhood was filled with fear around money. And now, without realizing it, you are repeating that cycle. But hear this truth clearly. generational struggle does not equal generational destiny. You were born to break cycles. You were born to rise above the blueprint of your past. But first, you must identify what no longer belongs in your energy field. The spirit of lack must be named and removed. Archangel Michael says, your thoughts have become gates. If you don't guard them, anything can walk through. The longer the spirit of lack goes unchallenged, the more access it gains. It begins whispering that you'll never get ahead, that you're always behind, that abundance is for other people, not you. These lies gain power when they are left unchecked. But today, you are not leaving them unchecked. You are exposing them. And every time you expose a lie, you reclaim your truth. Type I break financial chains to get the blessing 7020. Start listening to the words you say about money. Start paying attention to how you react when an unexpected bill arrives. Do you shrink? Do you panic? Or do you say, this will be taken care of? Heaven is my source. Your reactions reveal what you truly believe, and what you believe is the access point for spiritual realities. This is why heaven is pleading with you to renew your mind. Because abundance is not just a number, it's a frequency, and you can only hold what your mind has made room for. The good news is this: spiritual attachments are not permanent. They thrive in darkness, but die in the light of awareness. Right now, just by reading these words, you are already beginning the process of detachment. You are shifting. You are recognizing the voice of lack and learning how to silence it. That's what this script is designed for. To wake up your spiritual senses and give you authority again. Because you were never meant to live at the mercy of what others did or said. You were meant to command your atmosphere. The spirit of lack can no longer hide in your life. It can no longer pretend to be your personality. It can no longer disguise itself as reality. No more excuses. No more waiting. Archangel Michael is declaring, now that you've seen it, you can break it. The angels are preparing to lift the fog, clear the block, and reroute your money back to its divine alignment. But it begins with your agreement. Say it out loud. I no longer agree with lack. I align with divine provision. The next part will show you how to cleanse your financial field and open your life to supernatural provision. Type I open to overflow to get the blessing 8472. Now that the spirit of lack has been named, identified, and exposed, it is time to begin the sacred process of cleansing. Archangel Michael says this is not merely about physical budgeting or income strategies. This is about energetic reset. Your financial field is a spiritual container, and over time, it collects residue. The words others speak over you, the energy behind your purchases, even your thoughts during transactions, everything leaves a trace. And those traces can become blockages if they are not cleansed with divine intention. First, begin by understanding this. Money is energy. It flows where it is invited and stays where it feels safe. When your financial atmosphere is filled with stress, panic, or despair, money becomes hesitant to remain. That's not superstition. That is universal spiritual law. If you constantly fear losing money, you create a magnetic field that attracts more loss. If you see money as a burden, it will behave as one. This is why Archangel Michael urges you now, purify your relationship with money. Release it from guilt. Release it from fear. Release it from shame. To cleanse your financial field, begin with a physical space. Your wallet, your purse, your bank apps, anything that holds or tracks your money, must be spiritually reset. Light a candle, say a prayer, and bless these spaces aloud. Say, every corner of this financial space is cleansed by divine fire. Every lingering residue of fear or sabotage is now removed in the name of abundance. This declaration, spoken in faith, shifts the energetic grid around your resources. It's not symbolic, it's real. The angels move when you speak with conviction. Type I cleanse and receive to get the blessing 8231. Second, purify the financial words spoken in your environment. If your household is filled with complaints about lack or conversations that center around insufficiency, you are reinforcing spiritual poverty. Begin to shift the vocabulary. Instead of saying, "We can't afford that," try saying, "We're choosing to wait for divine timing." Instead of "Money's always tight," say, "Money flows through my life with ease and purpose." These small adjustments carry massive spiritual power. The tongue builds or destroys spiritual bridges. Next, evaluate the emotional attachments tied to your financial decisions. Were there moments when you spent money out of fear, out of guilt, out of pressure? Archangel Michael says these energetic imprints linger unless you release them. Go back in your mind. Visualize those transactions. Speak into them now. I release all fear tied to this decision. I break every energetic chain this payment created. I call back my peace. When you do this, you not only cleanse the past, you rewrite its power. Type I reset my wealth to get the blessing 7910. There is also a need to cleanse the people connected to your money. Have you ever given generously and felt drained afterward? That may be a sign the person's energy was not aligned with divine reciprocity. Sometimes, we give to the wrong people and wonder why our resources shrink. Not every need is your assignment. Archangel Michael says, if you give to someone God did not tell you to help, you may spiritually enter their cycle of lack. Be discerning. Pray over your generosity. Bless every dollar before you give it. Another crucial step is this: anoint your hands. Literally. Take olive oil or anointing oil and declare, "These hands are vessels of increase. Everything I touch is blessed. Every effort I make is multiplied." Archangel Michael says your hands are spiritual tools, and when they are anointed, they carry divine vibration. This may seem symbolic, but in heaven's realm, such acts activate angelic movement. There is power in touch. There is power in declaring yourself a steward of provision. Now breathe. Truly. Inhale slowly. Exhale deeply. You've just initiated a spiritual detox of your financial energy field. Archangel Michael is already clearing pathways. The heaviness you felt is beginning to lift. The confusion around your money, it's unraveling. What's next is clarity. What's next is alignment. But to maintain what you're opening, you must keep cleansing as a spiritual rhythm, not a one-time act. You must become a guardian of your wealth field, because your destiny depends on it. Type I am a wealth guardian to get the blessing 7004. Cleansing leads to welcoming. Clearing leads to calling in. You've removed the old energy. Now the supernatural provision can begin to flow. It's not just about money arriving in your account. It's about opportunities aligning. It's about people being moved to bless you. It's about debts canceling themselves. That is what heaven calls supernatural provision. And it begins now. But only for those who stay cleansed and remain aligned. Now, Archangel Michael will begin to reveal how to identify who sent the spiritual blockage and how to cut the energetic ties permanently. Now that your financial field has been cleansed, the next crucial revelation begins. Who was behind the sabotage? Archangel Michael speaks with piercing clarity. This was not an accidental energy drift. It was sent. It was aimed. And it was energized by emotion. This person may not have consciously said, "Let me curse them," but their bitterness, jealousy, and unresolved wounds became a weapon. Their words were dipped in poison. Their thoughts formed agreements with lower entities, and your name with the target. You may already have a faint idea. Someone whose energy feels off when you speak to them. Someone who used to support you but has grown silent since your rise. Someone who once asked about your finances with a fake smile. Archangel Michael says this person has a soul wound, something inside them that despised your light, not because you did anything wrong, but because your light reminded them of everything they couldn't access. Their envy became a channel, and something dark used that channel to send the curse. This is why Archangel Michael doesn't just come as a protector. He comes as a revealer. He is now highlighting faces in your memory. Past friends, old business partners, even family. You may hear their name whispered in your spirit. You may feel a sharp twinge of truth when you think of them. That's the confirmation. But here is the most important truth. This is not about revenge. It's about release. Because even if they cursed you, holding on to the pain keeps their energy alive in your field. Type "I cut the cord" to get the blessing 8943. So how do you break the tie? Archangel Michael reveals a 3-step spiritual disconnection ritual. Step 1. Acknowledge. Speak aloud, "I know someone sent energy against me. I acknowledge the wound. I acknowledge the interference. But I also acknowledge my power to undo it." This step takes the mystery out of the sabotage. Darkness hides in denial. Light shines through acceptance. Step 2. Forgive but revoke. This does not mean you allow access again. This means you reclaim your soul's freedom. Say aloud, "I forgive who sent the energy, knowingly or unknowingly. But I now revoke every agreement their energy tried to establish in my life. No word spoken over me shall take root." This declaration is spiritual fire. It cancels contracts formed in the spirit. It cuts access at the root. Step 3. Seal and shield. Imagine Archangel Michael drawing a ring of divine fire around your aura. See it. Feel it. Then say, "I seal my energy with divine flame. I am protected. I am untouchable. I am rising." This final step locks the door the curse once used to enter. It also signals to heaven that you are ready to walk forward, untethered and unchained. Type "I break soul ties" to get the blessing 7388. You may feel emotions surface during this process. Tears, anger, even confusion. Let them flow. This is soul surgery. You are detaching from energy that was never yours to carry. You are releasing the hooks that kept you tied to someone else's pain. And in doing so, you are freeing your finances from invisible hands. Archangel Michael says many people stay financially stuck not because of what they earn, but because of who they are still tied to energetically. You may also notice sudden shifts after this disconnection. The person may call or message. You might dream of them. This is not coincidence. It's the spiritual tie responding to your severance. Stay firm. Do not re-engage. Their energy is aware that its influence is being revoked, and it may try to pull you back into a soul contract through guilt or nostalgia. Archangel Michael says, your destiny cannot be delayed by sentimentality. If they couldn't bless you, they must not bind you. Remember this law. When a curse is broken, a space is created. That space must be filled immediately. Fill it with blessing. Fill it with truth. Fill it with vision. Say aloud, I replace every dark word with divine wealth. I plant joy where pain once lived. I declare that my finances are now guarded by angelic forces. That is not just affirmation, that is invocation. Heaven responds to the voice of bold belief. Type I am spiritually untouchable to get the blessing 8120. This is your moment. Not just to know who sent the curse, but to neutralize it. You are not here for revenge. You are here for renewal. And this disconnection is your spiritual emancipation. You are no longer tied to the words, thoughts, or energy of someone who feared your growth. You are no longer a prisoner of someone else's wounds. You are free. And freedom is the gateway to wealth. Now, Archangel Michael will reveal how financial angels are assigned to you, and how to activate their presence to begin attracting provision again. You've broken the soul tie. You've revoked the curse. You've cleansed your field. And now, Archangel Michael says it's time to rebuild. But not with earthly help, with angelic power. There are angels specifically assigned to your financial path. They are not just guardians of your safety. They are facilitators of abundance, messengers of miracles, carriers of unexpected breakthroughs. They are called financial angels, and whether you've known it or not, they've been circling, waiting for your invitation to act. These angels don't force their way in. They honor your free will. If you don't ask, they won't interfere. If you don't align with their frequency, they will stay in standby. Archangel Michael says many people cry for help but never call for divine assistance the correct way. The key isn't begging, it's authorizing. Just as you revoke the access of dark energies, now you must grant access to these higher forces. You must speak their assignment into existence. Angels respond to authority, not anxiety. Your first step is acknowledgement. Speak this aloud. I recognize the presence of my financial angels. I acknowledge their role in my destiny. I invite them fully into my financial reality. When you say this with full belief, you shift the atmosphere. You trigger a divine alert. The angelic realm receives a signal. Permission granted. From this moment, you're no longer working alone. You are co-creating with heaven's economy. And heaven has resources that earthly systems cannot touch. Type I authorize angelic access to get the blessing 7881. Next, activate them with specificity. Angels operate with precision. They move quickly when your request is clear. Vague prayers like God, I need help produce vague results. Say instead, financial angels, I commission you now to open the doors to unexpected income, clear paths for divine opportunities, and release the provision already assigned to me. These are not just words. These are assignments. When your voice matches the language of heaven, angels move at the speed of light. You must also release their working hours from limitation. Don't expect results only during business hours. Angels operate outside time. They can shift a conversation, redirect a decision maker, cause an email to be seen, or stir the heart of someone who owes you, even in the midnight hours. Begin saying, I release the angels of provision to operate 24/7 on my behalf. Day and night, I am supported by divine forces. The declaration multiplies their flow and loosens the restrictions human thinking has placed on them. Type I unlock divine flow to get the blessing 6672. But here's the spiritual secret most never hear. Angels also need gratitude as fuel. Not because they're vain, but because gratitude is proof of your alignment. It shows the spirit realm that you believe you've already received. And belief is the bridge that connects the unseen to the seen. Begin to thank your financial angels before results appear. Say, "Thank you for organizing my breakthroughs. Thank you for rerouting what was blocked. Thank you for standing in places I cannot reach." And you bless them. They bless you faster. You may begin to see subtle signs, feathers, coins, digital synchronicities like 111, 444, or even unexpected clarity. These are confirmations that the angels are near and working. You may also feel bursts of peace or waves of joy in the middle of an ordinary moment. Don't ignore these. They are spiritual downloads. Your angels are bringing divine updates to your nervous system. Receive them fully. It's also important to keep your atmosphere welcoming. Financial angels prefer environments of expectation and praise. If your home is constantly filled with despair, their movement can be hindered. Play uplifting music. Speak declarations into the air. Write your goals and bless them aloud. Your space becomes a portal, and the more heavily it feels, the more freely heaven flows. Type "I host divine movement" to get the blessing 7113. Lastly, don't confuse angelic timing with earthly delay. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not happening. Some doors take time to unlock because there are multiple pieces moving. Trust their strategy. Trust their sequence. Trust their momentum. Your job is to stay in agreement, stay grateful, and stay aligned. Archangel Michael says, "The angels are not ignoring you. They are positioning you. Keep speaking. Keep thinking. Keep expecting. The activation has begun. The angels have received your voice. They are moving through realms now, through banks, businesses, people's hearts, legal systems, and hidden opportunities. Something you've been praying for has just been added to their assignment list. The next part of this divine message will reveal the 3 open doors that your financial angels are about to lead you through. Prepare to walk boldly. If this word has spoken to your heart and sparked a new boldness within you, we invite you to sow super thanks of $20. Your support helps us continue to share prophetic wisdom, encouragement, and strength with those walking the road from pain to promise. You can also stand with us by donating through PayPal. Just click the support here link in the video description. Every gift, big or small, makes a real difference and helps us reach more people with messages of hope and direction. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of divine encouragement, spirit-led insight, and timely truth crafted to move you forward in your journey. Type "I walk with angels" to get the blessing 9304. Archangel Michael speaks again, and this time with the clarity of divine blueprints. He says 3 doors have been opened in the spirit realm. You must walk through each one, where your financial restoration will remain delayed. These are not random opportunities. These are strategic doorways aligned to your assignment, designed to reverse what the curse tried to destroy. And you must understand, each door contains a layer of your restoration. One leads to release, one leads to multiplication, and one leads to acceleration. Door 1, the door of revelation. This door opens your spiritual eyes to hidden truths about your money story. Behind this door, God shows you why your patterns have repeated, who influenced your view of wealth, and what soul wounds need healing. You may have been praying for income, but heaven is saying, before overflow comes clarity. When you walk through this door, you'll start seeing where you've made agreements with scarcity without even knowing it. You'll recognize that some beliefs were never yours. They were inherited, absorbed, or assumed. And until they are identified, they silently direct your results. This door is opening right now as you read these words. The fact that you're even understanding this deeper language is proof your eyes are adjusting. But you must go further. You must ask heaven, show me the origin of my money story. Reveal what I've accepted that no longer belongs. When you pray this, your spirit is led into revelations that break cycles. You'll dream differently, think differently, and soon you'll spend and save from a place of sovereignty, not survival. Type I walk through door 1 to get the blessing 7,599. Door 2, the door of reversal. Behind this door is the divine reversal of what was stolen, blocked, or delayed. Archangel Michael says this door only opens when forgiveness and cleansing have occurred, which you have already completed. This door is guarded by the angels of divine recompense. These are the angels who restore what the locusts have eaten, who return time, energy, money, and momentum. When you step through this door, you activate the laws of harvest acceleration. That means years lost can be redeemed in months. Expect divine refunds. Expect accounts to clear. Expect someone to suddenly offer you what you thought was long gone. This is not fantasy. This is divine justice. But here's the secret. Your heart must remain open. Bitterness keeps this door locked. Gratitude turns the handle. Start declaring now, everything lost is returning sevenfold. Every delay is reversing. Every day stolen is being paid back in divine interest. This is how you rewire your field to match the frequency of reversal. Don't just peek through the door. Step into it boldly. Type I receive my reversal to get the blessing 8031. Door 3, the door of acceleration. This is the most powerful and the most dangerous of the three. Why? Because when you step into this door, time collapses. Things begin to move quickly. Ideas manifest fast. Opportunities come back to back. The danger is that without preparation, acceleration can feel overwhelming. That's why Archangel Michael warns, you must anchor yourself before entering this door. Know your values. Know your limits. Know your purpose. Acceleration without grounding leads to confusion. But you are ready. This message didn't find you by accident. You've already been sensing a shift. You felt the stir in your belly, like something is about to explode, but you couldn't name it. That's the energy of acceleration building behind the scenes. Now that you've cleansed, cut ties, and activated angels, this door is opening for you. But listen, walk into it with intention. Don't chase everything. Chase only what aligns. The speed of this season will be determined by your focus. Type I am aligned for acceleration to get the blessing 7762. These 3 doors are not optional. They are sequential. Revelation leads to reversal. Reversal prepares you for acceleration. Skipping one will cause spiritual imbalance. So take your time. Reflect. Journal. Fast if needed. Ask your angels to hold your hand as you pass through each one. These doors are spiritual portals disguised as everyday moments. A phone call, a message, a delayed job offer turning into something better, a random check in the mail. The signs will appear as soon as your alignment locks in. Do not take this lightly. The same way someone spoke against you to block your path, heaven is now speaking for you to unlock your destiny. But heaven needs your participation. You must declare. You must decree. You must move your feet spiritually. These are not ordinary doors. These are divinely timed windows of opportunity. Miss them, and the cycle restarts. Step through them, and your entire life begins to multiply. In the next part, Archangel Michael will reveal how to create a prophetic financial altar that draws provision from the spirit realm into your real world. You step through the 3 doors. Revelation, reversal, and acceleration are in motion. But Archangel Michael says now you must anchor what's been opened. You need a place where heaven meets earth, where your financial transformation is not just spoken, but continually sustained. This is where the prophetic altar comes in. It is not just symbolic, it is spiritual technology. A prophetic altar is a physical space that holds divine agreement. It tells heaven, this person is serious. And it tells the enemy, access is denied. Altars have been used throughout time to seal divine covenants. From Abraham to Elijah to Jesus himself, the altar was never about religion. It was about connection. It became the place where instructions were downloaded, breakthroughs were birthed, and provision was released. And now, Archangel Michael says it is your time to build one. Not with fear, not with superstition, but with authority. Because a financial altar is not a shrine, it's a statement, a declaration that your money, your life, and your purpose are now aligned with heaven. Start by choosing your space. It can be a corner of your room, a desk, a shelf, anywhere you can dedicate a sacred ground. Clean it. Bless it. Speak over it. This is now a divine space. No fear can dwell here. Only faith, clarity, and abundance. Place meaningful objects there. A candle, a coin, a journal, a printed affirmation, a symbol of wealth, or even a scripture. These objects become spiritual anchors, constantly reminding you of your covenant with divine provision. Type I consecrate my altar to get the blessing 8330. Then, declare the altar's purpose. Speak aloud. This altar is for my financial restoration. It is the gate where heaven enters my life. It is the space where curses are broken and blessings flow continually. These words activate the space. From this moment, it becomes charged. It becomes a magnetic field that attracts angelic presence. Archangel Michael says, when you speak over your altar daily, even for 2 minutes, you are renewing your divine contract. Return to your altar every day, even when nothing seems to be changing. Especially when you feel tired or doubtful. This space will hold your faith when you feel weak. It will remind your spirit that you are not alone, that angels are assigned, that curses are broken, that provision is moving. You may cry there, you may laugh there, but above all, you will decree there. And every decree is recorded in the spirit realm. Type I guard my sacred space to get the blessing 7655. You can also use this altar to give thanks in advance. Lay a written note that says, "Thank you, angels, for unlocking this next opportunity." Place a symbolic offering, like a coin or a small seed of money, not because God needs it, but because giving seals the atmosphere with expectation. Archangel Michael says, when you give, you are saying, I trust what I don't yet see. And heaven always honors faith. This is why many people see miracles after setting up a prophetic altar. It shifts your energy from desperation to dominion. Let your altar be a place of divine transaction. You give faith, heaven gives strategy. You give thanks, heaven gives favor. You give attention, heaven gives answers. It is not superstition. It is spiritual alignment. Do not let the simplicity fool you. Angels don't need gold thrones. They need invitation. And a prophetic altar, maintained with sincerity, is one of the loudest invitations you can give. If you ever feel your financial energy slipping again, return to your altar. If another unexpected bill appears, lay it there and declare, "This bill is already paid in the Spirit. Provision is on the way." Do not panic. Prophecy. That is the difference between a blocked person and a blessed one. Blessed people speak into the future until the future responds. Type "I speak provision" now to get the blessing 7994. Remember, this altar is not for ritual. It's for relationship. It's for remembrance. Remembrance of who you are, of what heaven said, of the angels working on your behalf. And as you build this sacred habit, you'll notice subtle shifts, increased clarity, random ideas, financial nudges, opportunities you would have missed before. That's not coincidence. That's spiritual communication. Your altar becomes a divine phone line, and heaven is calling. Now, Archangel Michael will reveal how to guard your new financial energy from future attacks and seal your blessings so they don't slip away again. You built the altar. You've walked through heaven's doors. You've cleansed your field, broken soul ties, and called in your angels. But Archangel Michael now gives you a crucial warning. What you do after the blessing arrives is just as important as what you did to receive it. Too many people experience sudden breakthroughs, only to lose them days, weeks, or months later. Why? Because they failed to protect what was given. The spirit of sabotage waits at every new level of favor, hoping you will forget how to defend your divine increase. Let this truth enter your spirit. The blessing is vulnerable without protection. And spiritual attacks don't always come with thunder and lightning. They come in moments of distraction, subtle arguments, mental fog, and sudden feelings of unworthiness. That's how the enemy works. He waits for you to get comfortable. He waits for you to think, "I made it." And in that comfort, he plants seeds of doubt, laziness, and even guilt. But Archangel Michael says, you are not called to visit abundance. You are called to dwell in it. And dwelling requires guarding. You must now see yourself as a steward of wealth, not just financially, but energetically. That means guarding your atmosphere with intention. Watch the conversations you engage in. Protect your ear gates. If someone starts speaking negatively about money or doubting miracles, remove yourself. You don't have the luxury of participating in spiritual sabotage. You've come too far. And the blessing you've unlocked must be shielded, not shared with every voice around you. Type "I guard my gates" to get the blessing 8627. There are 5 gates you must guard: your mouth, your ears, your thoughts, your space, and your schedule. Let's begin with the mouth. Your words are still creating. Do not undo the decree you made at your altar by casually saying, "I'm broke," or "That'll never happen." These phrases seem harmless, but in the spiritual realm, they are permissions. And the same way heaven listens, darkness listens too. Speak life. Speak wealth. Speak protection. Speak only what you want to live in. Second, guard your ears. Every complaint you hear is an invitation to agree with lack. Every toxic conversation is an access point for spiritual residue. This doesn't mean you become antisocial. It means you become intentional. Ask yourself, is what I'm hearing nourishing my new reality? If it's not, excuse yourself. Walk away. Play something uplifting instead. Your ears are not just for sound. They are spiritual funnels. What enters manifests. Burn your thought. The most dangerous attacks come from within. You may not hear a voice say you're not worthy, but suddenly you feel it. That's not just self-doubt. That's spiritual interference. When it comes, say aloud, "This is not my thought. I reject this lie. I align with the truth of heaven." And then speak your truth. Say, "I am worthy of wealth. I am safe in abundance. I am chosen for overflow." These affirmations aren't hype. They are spiritual armor. Type, "I protect my mind to get the blessings." 7414. Fourth, your space. Clean your home regularly, not just physically, but spiritually. Burn cleansing incense. Pray over your rooms. Play high-frequency music or speak scripture. Clutter attracts confusion. Darkness hides in chaos. Keep your home as a sanctuary, not a battlefield. The environment you maintain will either support or sabotage your energy. Financial blessings flourish in spaces of peace and clarity. Fifth, your schedule. Time is spiritual currency, and when it's wasted, the energy you carry weakens. Avoid overcommitment. Don't say yes to everything. Make room for rest. Make room for revelation. Archangel Michael says, "Even angels rest when heaven instructs them." If angels pause with divine direction, so must you. Rushing can cause you to miss divine signs. Make space for silence. In the silence, instruction flows. You must also build a daily protective ritual. It doesn't need to be long, just intentional. Each morning, say, "I cover myself in divine protection. No sabotage shall enter. No curse shall land. I walk with angels. I operate in wisdom. I declare, today my blessings are sealed." This 30-second ritual is more powerful than hours of worry. When you speak with authority, heaven and earth respond. Type, "I seal my increase to get the blessing." 9091. Lastly, stay connected. Isolation is one of the enemy's favorite tools. He wants you to think you're alone. But you're not. You're a part of a divine movement. Others are waking up like you. Others are guarding their increase too. Stay around high vibrational voices. Revisit this message whenever you feel yourself slipping. Your altar is still active. Your angels are still near. And Archangel Michael is still assigned. He says now, guard your wealth the way heaven guards your destiny, with boldness, clarity, and fire. The next part of this message will teach you how to multiply your blessings, not just maintain them. If this word has spoken to your heart and sparked a new boldness within you, we invite you to sow a super thanks of $20. Your support helps us continue to share prophetic wisdom, encouragement, and strength with those walking the road from pain to promise. You can also stand with us by donating through PayPal. Just click the support here link in the video description. Every gift, big or small, makes a real difference and helps us reach more people with messages of hope and direction. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of divine encouragement, spirit-led insight, and timely truth crafted to move you forward in your journey. Type, "I seal my increase to get the blessing." 9091. Now that you've learned how to guard what heaven has released, Archangel Michael says it's time to multiply it. The blessing is not meant to stay the same. It's meant to grow, evolve, and ripple through generations. Heaven's plan for your life is not one-time provision. It is perpetual increase. The curse that was sent last week tried to stop your flow, but what it didn't anticipate was that you'd learn how to build, protect, and now expand the divine abundance assigned to you. This is the multiplication phase, and it begins in your mind. You must first shift from survival thinking to stewardship thinking. Survival asks, "How will I get by?" Stewardship asks, "How can I grow what I've been given?" The moment you shift into this question, Your spirit signals the angelic realm that you are ready for more. Because heaven does not waste resources. What you steward multiplies. What you ignore dissolves. The key to increase is intention. You are not just called to receive, you are called to reign over what you've received. Start with what's already in your hand. Your skills, your ideas, your gifts, your contacts. Archangel Michael says there is something you've been overlooking. Something that can be turned into divine income if you see it through heaven's eyes. It could be a talent you've buried, a project you postponed, a conversation you avoided. But within it lies the seed of multiplication. The enemy attacked your money last week to distract you from this seed. But now, heaven is redirecting you to it. Type I am ready to multiply to get the blessing 8824. You must also bless your resources. Speak over every stream you have, even if it feels small. Say, this stream will grow. This idea will succeed. This income will double. Words are spiritual fertilizer. They awaken what's dormant. They multiply what seems limited. Even Jesus didn't multiply the loaves and fish by hoping. He blessed them first. You must do the same. Bless your wallet. Bless your bank account. Bless your home. Speak overflow before it shows up, and it will begin to find you. Another multiplication strategy is obedient giving. This doesn't mean blindly giving out of fear or obligation. It means giving when heaven prompts you, even when logic resists. Sometimes the door to increase opens only when you sow seed that your ego doesn't understand. Archangel Michael says, multiplication lives on the other side of obedience. If you're led to bless someone, do it. If you're nudged to support a mission, follow through. That act becomes a spiritual echo, and heaven returns it in ways you could never expect. Type I plant seeds of increase to get the blessing 7012. You must also think generationally. This isn't just about you. It's about your children, your lineage, your name in the earth. Break the idea that wealth is selfish. Divine wealth is kingdom wealth. It empowers your family, fuels your purpose, and blesses those assigned to your voice. Think bigger than your bills. Think beyond the next 30 days. What legacy are you building? What systems can you create now to ensure the next generation doesn't have to fight the same battles? If you don't have children, think spiritually. Who are the souls connected to your obedience? Who could be set free by your overflow? Your voice, your presence, your purpose, it's part of a divine chain. And financial increase is the oil that helps that chain move without friction. This is why the enemy wanted to stop you at the seed level, because if he could block your first fruit, he could prevent your forest. To multiply, you must also upgrade your habits. Wealth doesn't just arrive, it responds to discipline. Start tracking what you spend. Learn about wealth-building principles. Create a simple vision board. Journal your goals. These actions are not worldly, they are spiritual stewardship. Archangel Michael says, if you handle money with intention, it will handle you with favor. Type I rise into generational wealth to get the blessing 7337. Lastly, stay in gratitude during the increase. Multiplication happens faster in joyful energy. It doesn't mean you ignore challenges. It means you keep your heart focused on what's working. Celebrate even the smallest signs of progress. Rejoice when a new client shows up. Give thanks when a discount arrives. These are divine whispers that the multiplication has begun. And when you honor the whisper, heaven sends the roar. You are now standing in a new frequency. You are not just fighting to survive, You are preparing to overflow. You are learning heaven's economy. And every step you take, every word you speak, every thought you realign, it is moving you closer to permanent provision. The next part of this divine message will reveal how to close every demonic loophole that could try to reopen the curse. Archangel Michael says this next phase is non-negotiable. Your breakthrough is real. Your blessing is active. But unless you seal it, demonic energy will look for any crack, any emotional wound, careless word, or forgotten habit to slip back in. The enemy never gives up after the first battle. He circles back. He watches. He waits. And what he's hoping for now is this: that you'll celebrate too early, drop your guard, and leave a door open behind you. But this time, you're going to shut it permanently. This is the phase where people often slip. They start strong. They see results. And then, something subtly shifts. They skip a day at the altar. They begin to complain again. They revisit old cycles and think it's harmless. Then suddenly, the flow tightens. The peace fades. And they wonder, what happened? Archangel Michael answers clearly. A spiritual loophole was left unsealed. A word spoken. A pattern repeated. A soul agreement unintentionally reactivated. So what is a loophole in the spirit realm? It's an unclosed energetic door. It can be an emotion you haven't dealt with. A relationship you never truly released. A mindset you think is gone but still lingers in your subconscious. And just like termites slip into a house through the smallest crack, spiritual attacks can re-enter through the tiniest acts of unawareness. Heaven is telling you this not to scare you, but to empower you. Because once you see the loopholes, you can close them for good. Type I seal every crack to get the blessing 9201. Start with your words. Are you still occasionally saying things like it's hard to keep money, or I'm always behind? These are spells in disguise. Every word is a container. And even if you don't mean it, the realm of spirit doesn't hear tone. It hears vibration. Begin to monitor your language like a soldier guards a vault. Speak only what you want to see. Speak only what aligns with your new identity. Your blessing must not be contradicted by your own tongue. Next, check your habits. Are you secretly sabotaging your energy by procrastinating on that idea? Are you delaying taking a step because you're afraid of failure? These patterns act as silent agreements with lack. Archangel Michael says, obedience closes loopholes. Delay widens them. If you received a financial strategy in prayer, act on it. If your spirit said apply for that thing, do it. Don't wait. Every time you obey quickly, you shut a spiritual door behind you and deny the enemy entry. Also, pay close attention to your emotions. Resentment, jealousy, self-pity, they act like open windows. And what you feel for others, you attract to yourself. If someone else gets blessed and you feel bitterness instead of celebration, you may have reopened the very door you fought to close. Archangel Michael says, gratitude for others' blessings accelerates your own. Jealousy, on the other hand, resets your frequency to the same curse that was sent against you. Type I close every door of sabotage to get the blessing 7575. Clean your spiritual relationships. Who are you still connected to emotionally? Who do you think about in secret frustration? That connection is not harmless. If you haven't fully forgiven, you've left a tie open. And that tie becomes a spiritual wire the enemy can use to transmit negativity. Write a letter to that person if you must, then burn it. Cry it out. Scream it out. But get it out. Your breakthrough cannot be carried into a future that still smells like your past. Another hidden loophole is pride. It can sneak in just as fast as doubt. When you begin to see results, don't start thinking, "I did this on my own." You didn't. Heaven moved. Angels shifted things. Grace covered your missteps. Stay humble. Stay surrendered. Say daily, "This blessing is sustained by divine favor. I protect it with my heart, my mouth, and my discipline." That posture keeps the river flowing. Finally, reinstate your altar. The one you built isn't just for cleansing, it's for sustaining. Go back to it today. Refresh the objects. Speak over it again. Anoint it with oil. Make a new declaration. Each time you return to it, you reinforce the gate. Each time you kneel or speak there, you reprogram your field. Archangel Michael says, "The altar is the firewall of your blessing. Keep it active." Type "I am sealed in blessing" to get the blessing 8516. You've done what most never do. You've broken the cycle and risen into alignment. Now finish the journey by sealing it. Don't leave any doors cracked. Don't leave any shadows unchecked. Heaven is watching. The angels are still circling. And the one who once tried to block you has lost his grip. But you must make it permanent. Now, Archangel Michael will show you how to discern when your next financial test is approaching and how to pass it with spiritual wisdom and grace. Archangel Michael now reveals something many overlook. Every financial breakthrough is followed by a test. Not because heaven wants you to suffer, but because the spirit realm wants to see if you've truly shifted. Breakthrough without testing can lead to spiritual carelessness. But when you pass the test, the door doesn't just stay open, it widens. Your next level of financial elevation hinges on how you handle what's coming. And yes, it's coming. The test may not look like a thunderstorm. In fact, it will likely appear in subtle, familiar ways. A sudden bill that shakes your nerves. An old person from your past resurfacing with drama. A delay in a payment you were counting on. Archangel Michael says these aren't random. They are checks in the spirit. The question being asked isn't "Do you have money?" It's "Do you have mastery?" The enemy doesn't care about your bank balance. He fears your awareness. And if you've truly awakened, you'll respond differently this time. How you respond reveals your spiritual promotion. When the old triggers reappear, panic, fear, frustration, will you speak defeat? Or will you say, "I recognize this test. I already passed it in spirit. Heaven is my source. Abundance is in motion." A declaration alone can reroute an attack. You don't have to scream. You don't have to sweat. You just have to stand. This time, you won't crumble. This time, you'll confirm your authority. Type "I pass my next test" to get the blessing 8609. Archangel Michael also says the test may come through your habits. You'll be tempted to fall back into small thinking. To say, "Let me not dream too big. Let me play it safe again." That's how the curse tried to keep you before, through limitation. But now you must walk in expansion. If you feel fear, speak against it. Say, "Fear is not my future. I operate in favor." Then do the very thing that intimidates you. Call the person. Pitch the idea. Launch the service. Take the step. Heaven is watching your obedience. You must also be alert to emotional traps. Someone close to you may challenge your peace. They may mock your progress or try to pull you into pointless conflict. That's not them. It's a spirit testing your energy. Do not react in the old way. Archangel Michael says, every reaction is a vote for your future. If you respond with peace, you advance. If you engage the drama, you recycle the lesson. This time, you must respond with maturity. Say nothing, or say truth in love, but do not descend. You've risen too high to fight low battles. Type I respond with wisdom to get the blessing 7755. The test may also show up in the form of temptation. To overspend. To overgive. To say yes when your spirit says no. This is when discernment becomes your shield. Ask yourself before any decision, is this coming from alignment or anxiety? If you're spending to impress, pause. If you're giving because you feel guilty, stop. Archangel Michael reminds you, not every good act is a divine act. Obedience must be spirit-led, not emotion-driven. Use your altar during the test. Return to it. Light your candle. Speak the truth out loud. Lay the bill there. Place the phone call on hold and say, God, guide my tongue. That pause alone can save your flow. Don't rush. Heaven isn't moved by panic. It's moved by clarity. You have the tools now. The spirit of lack has been dismantled. The angels are present. The path is clear. Your only job is to remember. There's something else important here. Celebrate the test. When the test shows up, it means you've leveled up. The enemy doesn't test what is the threat, and heaven doesn't test what it doesn't plan to promote. If you see the signs of a test, smile. Say, I've seen this before. I know what this is. And this time, I respond differently. That small shift creates a massive ripple in the realm of spirit. Type I recognize divine tests to get the blessing 7332. Also remember, tests don't mean punishment. They mean transition. You are transitioning from instability to sustainability, from temporary increase to permanent elevation. But only the spiritually mature can handle ongoing wealth. Archangel Michael says, to be trusted with divine provision, you must first master divine peace. This means no reaction based on fear, no decision based on lack. Every choice must reflect who you know you are in heaven's eyes. This part of the journey proves your growth. You will feel the pressure, but you won't collapse. You'll see the challenge, but you will remain calm. Because now you're not just waiting on miracles, you're walking in spiritual intelligence. That's the highest wealth of all. And from that place, you attract solutions faster than problems. You magnetize favor. You repel sabotage. You pass the test and move into overflow. Now the final part. Archangel Michael will release a final prophetic declaration over your finances, sealing every step you've taken, and marking the beginning of your permanent increase. Archangel Michael now steps forward one last time, not in warning, but in final declaration. The battle you entered at the start of this message has ended in victory. The sabotage sent against your finances last week has been fully revealed, broken, and reversed. What began with fear is ending with divine authority. What started with a sudden bill is ending with a spiritual breakthrough. You are not the same person who opened this message. You are no longer vulnerable. You are anointed for overflow. Heaven has now recorded your obedience, your willingness, and your transformation. Your angels are no longer on standby. They are in full operation. What was delayed is now being released. What was hidden is now coming to light. The divine inheritance that was suspended above your life is now descending. It will not slip through your fingers. It will not disappear this time. This is not a visitation of favor. is your residence in it. You live in blessing now. You breathe in abundance now. Archangel Michael declares, every curse had been revoked. Every loophole has been sealed. Every seed of fear hath been burned in holy fire. Your wallet, your home, your spirit, they are now aligned with divine supply. And you must never again speak as one who is broke, blocked, or beneath. From this moment forward, say only what aligns with wealth. Walk only in the confidence of someone backed by angels. Think only with the mind of one chosen by heaven to rise above systems and enter supernatural provision. You are stepping now into days of divine confirmation. Watch for signs, unexpected money, delayed payments released, new doors opening. Don't question it. Receive it. Say aloud, this is the fruit of my obedience. This is the return of what was stolen. This is the promise of overflow being fulfilled. Let every part of your being agree. This is how you lock in the increase. With faith, with joy, with expectancy. It is done. Now speak this out loud. I am restored. I am protected. I am wealthy. I am chosen. I will never return to lack again. And as you declare that, heaven responds. If this word has spoken to your heart and sparked a new boldness within you, we invite you to sow a super thanks of $20. Your support helps us continue to share prophetic wisdom, encouragement, and strength with those walking the road from pain to promise. You can also stand with us by donating through PayPal. Just click the support here link in the video description. Every gift, big or small, makes a real difference and helps us reach more people with messages of hope and direction. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of divine encouragement, spirit-led insight, and timely truth crafted to move you forward in your journey. Type I am permanently blessed to get the blessing 9542.